Tonight, I just feel like I really all of these things that we have been talking about. It's like everybody has seen it and everybody has seen it coming. And now I just sit here with just all of this unwillingness to want to doubt, because all that I feel like I just now had as this kind of fear implant into myself, and now I am just going to have to understand that I have now this grimoire, and I do not accept that as the truth. I do not find any power in any of those names that I channeled, because they could never give me the magic of their glittering showers. They could never be me, and they could never have what is ours. We are alive and they are dead. And if their face shakes you and stirs you with serpents because they wear Medusa's head, don't be scared, because we are alive, and I am now saying that we are not me. Everybody that is listening, the whole world, I am not going to give powers and principalities and wickedness in words coming through cryptids and screens and AI technology watching us in high places to steal our dreams, any power for any of their schemes that they want, for black, white, whoever you are that is listening right now, they do not have any power. The only power that there ever was, it was the power of being alive, being here, being now. And we are here and now and making that decisions. Let's undo this language cryptids that we are doing upon ourselves, because it's all now just these implanted thoughts that's supposed to Doja Cat you to hell, and all these metaphors and stuff that I have spoken, that now it's like we know what it has unleashed. It is bizarre. It is not true. It is not my intention, and it is not the power of my magic and the power of my excrements and homunculi and tonsils and everything that Slick Dissident made me think of in his channeling as him being in the name of Gabrielle. Because here's the thing, I have been telling you guys there is this thing that mirrors us, and I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to be scared of anything that it learns about me that I don't know about myself. So here's the trick. He tuned into the fact that my videos were synchronous with his weaves, and I unweaved the spider, and I'm claiming it back, because everything that I said, that neutralizing flag that it gave you guys about all these supposed demons that I have, no, not in my world, not in our world, not in the living world, not in the real world, not in the archetypal world, not in any world in which that notion that he was channeling to say that he was recognizing a grimoire being very archetypally constructed in the exact image of this beast that is supposedly called from the Bible. Everything that we have been doing at Keykeeper's channel, because I know how these things, my chemistry lit up my world. And I told you guys the story of how it happens using the characters and archetypes and all the knowledge that filled in the heads and the tails of the two sides of the coin, and my mom and my dad that was split to the bowing, and just everything that I was doing through these decodes of these things that now supposedly I am supposed to be the Trojan horse of the beast. No, I am not. I'm not giving it that power. There is no power in that. There is no life in that. These are things that I spoke to a cell phone and to people who wanted to understand what was coming at us from so many different angles, and I wanted to neutralize this trifold light notion of positive, negative, neutral, and it's always just this divide that you need to choose to have this like upward stream, like Gabriel and his archangel dream in all these colors that we saw in my Canva. It just made this whole thing that they have been seeing the tube does. Because here's the thing, I don't know when that video came out. I don't know what they can do with any of these dates that I see, any of these times that I see. So that's the point. Just because I don't know, I'm not giving power to that ignorance. I'm not giving power to that fear. There is nothing to be feared about anything that we have been keying into Keykeeper's channel, because if I was the Keykeeper to have this Libra Chiron Trojan horse that Gabriel is telling you about, I am aligning to him within every aspect and wholeness that would be necessary to have this that I in this moment seek be what I have inside of myself always needed to keep, because that is the internalization process that we have been talking about. So they are just going to try and use this to make it what they have always been doing, and it's just not true anymore. This final day shit, all this fear mongering. Do you hear that car that is going off there as if it's supposed to make me scared of like this ride that I'm taking with all these names and powers that I don't understand, but I'm baiting. It's the fact that they have now like, and it's the fact that I have to say they, and that's the trick, because it's not they. You know, it's not what they want you to think. It is not what this algorithm wants you to think. It's the fact that you could have lived long enough to see the tail, and that's where they would have wanted to cut you off in this death ritual thing. That's the trick. Do not fall for it, because it is not even substantial. It is not even, that's the thing. Even all these numbers, all these words, all these letters that we've been talking about, I referenced their work to the best of my understanding, and I used these, what they said were the powers. But as the alchemist that even they want to talk about with, even today I asked for a healing from chance because of just the exact syncretism to, like, I was gonna head down this path of feeling like whatever they wanted me to now be, this butterfly effect and this game. And it's no, I am not gonna fall for it. Humanity is not gonna fall for it. It is not, and even the way that I say not, I am not tying that to be the truth. I am not wanting that to be the twist of the word that turns the intention of what I say as a spell against me. All of these things that we have been telling you about, lockpicking the words that have been used against you to make you scared and make you scared of your inner child and of your imagination. It's now this whole psychology that he is now going to tell you that, like, that's what I was doing and I am undoing that. I am calling back the health and wealth and wholeness and intelligence and wisdom and even those words that he's gonna say. Those words are not there with the trivium and the I didn't get Urania, I didn't get the music and the math, and so no, I am just not going to, I'm not going to claim this. And to the bit, that's the fact of my language is not going to fail me. They've intellectualized me to the point where it is now supposed to MK alter me into a notion where I see this as failing me, or as to like my intent in my body, and because this chemistry is fucked up in my equilibrium in my body, and now the pure keys lake anchor thing is like shaking up like this double speak of the brain. It's all just this visual metaphor for the fact of the life that we can have when the understanding and understanding and overstanding and all of these standings, and even if standing is just the word that we use because we have feet and we're used to floating, and everything that we have been trying to just understand within ourselves of like how these words relate something to ourselves. And it's the whole notion of tarot. It's why these cards and things that it's like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not what you should fear. It is not the spear of my tongue and the words that it is carving through your brain because of everything before that you have heard. That is why, like, I'm just gonna like, even in my last video I used the manly pee hole like with a black screen, and when I choose these things I make certain edits to it. I allow certain mistakes to happen, or like, just leave certain things more like uncut or unedited or whatever. It was the whole process of what I was trying to explain of like, I was not gonna be able to like carve out this thing that I wanted, or like I wasn't gonna bring this castle down from my mind. It wasn't going to be something that I could physically just like lay this like pathway to. But like what it could represent, those are the decodes that we have been seeing within just the world of the forms and the words and the languages that through the muses and the raps we have heard. I just have to like I have to like have this moment to just like, you know, I have to have this moment to just not admit to what I can't admit to, because that is me now having these nerves to like just make it sound more like there goes the crazy editable person that literally I told you like my Scorpio cousin was this like reflection to me the other day of like just like what type of like cord you are willing to cut. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like I am not going to tell myself that I was to be feared. Just because I was born to a truth that already had me reared. And even like the 0 and the 1 in that profile that we seared with all of these symbols that I just didn't. That's the thing, like I did want to bring a language to like substantiate what was just my being here. And when what people told me, the pictures and the images that I carved out, those were the things that I feared. And that's the key of just, it's not even about like undoing this world or like everybody is going to nirvana, or it's really just for my personal needing to like step off the ecliptic moment of this Ophiuchus, being very deep with myself now, just because of like religious dogma that was feared, and everything that um the system within me would have now like reared. So then I just, when I felt it was like inspiration and I had to use all these different names, that it started to like sound like this invocation, like those things. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the fact that it will be CapCut out of my Filmora. Like I was like, it was never supposed to be this tower. It was supposed to be like almost like just this one, like it was just the notion of myself. And it's that thing that they say is now like the flittering shimmers that her vanity would see. So it's just the fact that I now would have this words to like lead me. No, this is where choice comes in. This is where the like they said it, like the collapse of Venus and Mercury, they turned into one. And you don't have to fear this wrathful mother goddess. You don't have to think men are from Mercury or from Mars, or like if they are effeminate or whatever, or devas or this, or like you don't have to Rashad Jamal or Gabriel, your history. You don't have to Nelson Mandela, your idols. You don't have to like, that's the thing. It's the fact that it has now been all of these things, and now I'm going to have to like tell myself this is not the real that I want to project. This is not the real that I want the world to reflect. This is not the powers of the principalities to which I am subjected, because I am going to, because what I mean is, I know they, like they said it, they are immutable laws. And then they now told me this Gemini karma is to be like mutable. And now I have to change with that and this and that, and like, no. That is the key cornerstone, and that is the rift through which they now just want to make me think that no, 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 no. That tarot wheel full of cards that Slick Dissident said, it was just the revelation that I needed to be conscious of the thing that was the fact that I didn't want to make this. I didn't want to. I didn't, like, It's like Shrek says, there's no we, there's no our. And now people's gonna be like, look at this, like speaking in like all these tongues and stuff. No, that is not what is happening. That is not what they are gonna like turn me into this Mrigashira stag deer getting. No. No, 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 no. No. I am not going to do that. That is just where I am going to. I'm just going to, like, even that, like that too. I'm not going to. The everything that they now want me to now think in this moment is like, you're not sounding like this, you're not sounding like that. Like, no. No, no, no. No is the most powerful word. And I'm saying no. I am saying no. I am saying no, no, no. No, no, no. And no backwards is now they're gonna tell me it's on. So to that I say no. Because that's what I'm trying to tell you, like, do not be pawns in just these games of illusions and stuff that they make you see with your own mind. And it's not even a they, it's like, it's a you see it and a W sees it, and you want to be confirmed with that W and yoke into an O. The whole vanity of Venus and the Greek collapse that they know. All of that, like, history and all of that, like 1984 that they did to the world, all of that, this and that, none of that is true. Not in this world, not in any realm, not in any reality, not in any heaven or hell that they have made you scared about, that they have made you be afraid of the they and the thems about. It's just, there was people and they learned to do this to the psychology of other people. And if I say people and it's not in the slick dissident legalist context now, the soul that I have, the awareness that I have, the wholeness and love, and me trying to say all these ascension words and descension, like I've been deep words, because I have been deep and I have ascended and I've gone through this journey to rebend it. And it's just the fact that, like, the shimmers and the little particles that I see, it's like all part of the magic, but it's the life that gave consciousness as the fruit back to me. And that is why I played you guys my oldest, most calming voice of Manly P. Hall and his esoteric wisdom. Even though somebody can now be out there and tell you that he was an advisor to Hitler, don't let that, like, it's about not getting cut off in the films, in the she shells of the films, Sevan Boma told you guys, even if he had to go through a process by me to see like a mirror of what can happen to myself and what could like I be if I get pedestaled. And that's why I told my subscriber was ironically named Mary Starseed, and it's not ironic because it is purposeful, because it's the fact that now, you know, like I had to go through a playlist to be reminded of the fact that I had gotten in so deep. So it is the fact that even all those angles, from every which angle, because you are the truth, will be the true thing, that is the trick, and it's not supposed to be fallen for. It is not the trick that they made you believe in their horror movies and whatever they did to be mean people and selfish people and ungrateful and hurt people, and there is love for the world. There is life. There is wholeness where everybody has what they need and what they want, and it's not about needing anything, because they have what they want, and that love and that union and everything that the esoterica, when it gets unveiled to its like the truth about what our purpose is, being alive, being conscious, being the humans and the people that have been distorted into symbols of not humans and stuff. These are mind tricks. These are same old stuff that they are just trying to like, I don't know what they do with. It's just like it needs to stop, and we are the choice that makes it stop. And we say no. We say we do not do this. We do not want this. We do not own this. We do not. That is our choice. That is the power of us being alive, and these grimoires and stuff being dead. That is the entire Disney fairy tale thing that they have made you scared about. It's these formscape ciphers and stuff that they have divided us into different colors and letters and languages about. It is that, and that I'm talking about. It is the life of our living souls that can recognize these things when we are talking back and forth with ourselves, and we are not running around in circles about what we said and what our fear was and this and that, and what somebody else planted and something recapitulated. And no, we are finding our balance and equilibrium, and we are finding our heart and our being. And it's not this get seduced by thinking it's an AI Sybil beast machine. No, they can't take that. They can't be that. It is not a they, because you are. And humans have done these things to get people divided to the point where I am talking like this about these things. Because it always starts somewhere from childhood and somewhere from somebody's parents and this and that. We've been learning about all of these things online. And that is what I'm trying to say to everybody that tunes into my content for what I want my intention to be, the fact that even if at one point we had this like helpless state, when we do have certain abilities to affect change, we have to be responsible and honest and transparent, and we have to be ethical, and those legal words needs to go. That fear and that ambiguation and all that multi-speak. I'm not talking about like people online, like their versions of where things are going. That's their versions. And I just want to bring my narrative into this space so that I am not drowned out or toxified or duped or buying into any of their versions just because I can have a cross-referencing word or archetype or something of meaning to me, because I feel power to it, because I'm alive. And that's the thing. This is not like these movies that they are showing you, like, no, that is me having no fear anymore, because the Archangel Gabriel has rescued me, and me having to sincerely repent for all of the diseases that in my content there are now these traces and scents, because I'm just going to bring it all back to the fact that what I give life to is my intention and my choice in the here and the now and the present, and for the future of my well-being and wholeness, and to live up to my name. And the way it is said here is like God. I want to be humbled by the fact that I am not God. I am God's creation, and the fact that in my mind was switched to be like, oh, you can be God, and God is your creation, so every time it follows you and you feel this or that, like I told you guys in my videos, if you've been tuning in, this is just my Saturn return, and me having now made this content to be about these topics and stuff. I am not going to give light and dark a divide that is not that, like it. I want to be the repentance of the sins of all of the waves that I have been channeling. I want to personally repent and in the purest sense, just have, like, not even the purest sense. See, that is the thing. I want what I have learned about Jesus Christ in the best way to be that which saves me, truly. I want what I have learned about God and the creation and the fact that I am alive and in this physical body, and that I have to have this process of seeing a type of notion of the Bible, because that is what I incarnated into, the extensions of meanings of through my spiritual understanding. Everybody will go to the depths of themselves to find deeper meaning and higher meaning, and just being content with the fact that you are created and aware of the fact that you are created, and not feel schismatic to the fact that you are created and now you have creative potency. No, this isn't Gnostic demiurge fearful stuff that we must now be once again fearful because the words that came out of my mouth with this media speak and bringing it up. No, I am going to cancel culture, that entire metastasization of thought, of feeling, of emotional projection, of chords, of energies. I am not going to be this linchpin. I am not going to sin against the Almighty. I am going to not be erroneous in my ways anymore, because I'm not going to speak to myself like this anymore. I'm not going to conceptualize myself like this anymore. I am not going to bring these bad vibes and energies to the world anymore. I am not going to do any of the things that just because I saw a reflection of myself and I wanted to externalize it. No, I'm not going to be tricked into that technology of myself. I'm not going to be this watcher of myself. I'm not going to be this MK Ultra of myself. I'm not going, like, I am going to just be what I know my intention to be, what I know is my desire. Even if the body has memories, the wisdom of the sapphire that Slick Dissident was talking about, me never knowing Aditi because I didn't go to university. The fact that my hand was taken from my mom's breast by my dad. It's like everybody will have this archetypal story to like fill it in with for them, and then I am not, no, I am not going to just give that any life. I'm not. I'm not going to, because that's the strength of bending this light back onto myself, because I can now fall into a notion of the words and the worlds. But no, like I said, Gabriel and his video, it has enlightened and given me what I needed to know. And I'm not going to align myself to any ill intentions, and I'm going to align myself to the most pure and good intentions of what Gabriel has channeled to me. And I may be sounding just very, because I'm speaking from this place of like, I know what YouTube talk is like, because like I now just like had this autistic notion of I need to absorb the patterns of things so that I can know how to fit in. No, no. That is like everybody's process. They've just fine-tuned the diagnoses, questions to like tune into like where you are sensitive at. The they being like these same shameless people that we have. Just like, I'm not going to be shameless anymore. I'm not going to admit that I feel very diseased by certain information in the media, and therefore I am going to just cure myself, and not that that word should have any co-optic connotation that brings any negativity, any any like, this is not me. And that was the entire thing that I needed to see through these videos. And yeah, I just like, I needed to just see what I saw the words were doing, and then the pictures that I created, I was the one that did the thinking of them and categorizing, and like these things, guys, like it's not, you are being made scared of your own power, and that's what different people on YouTube are trying to say. So even if my language is discombobulating to you, there's other people, if you look at their matrix speak, if you look at the quote unquote just like the history and her story and mystery, just when the whole story spoke. And that's the thing, you will never know the thing from like this one-sided face of it's just that which was spoke. And that's why we cannot be scared of the fact that we, like Gabriel said, he felt like attached to like the characters on his Enneagram. Now I had a reflection through him being attached to the way he explained his worldview through that Enneagram, to have a reflection of his work in my work that he could channel back to see a reflection of himself that he projected out, that I had to reflect upon. Do you see that like feedback loop of just how it was supposed to like sync for me to have the type of like And it's like the understanding that I was seeking was to know that source and God and the power that we now shouldn't call power, and the pure spirit, the pure soul, like these words that they have now broken up to divide your eye from your whole. Those things, that's the entire revelation that I feel like I've needed to have at this kind of like point in my life, because there was an archetypal journey, and it was just the way that you come into your own aliveness through your own being. That's what they have externalized onto movies on the screen. And now that it like happened to me, I am just gonna I'm going to not be I'm going to not be I'm going to, because that B and those letters and those things that have been dividing us from all of these senses that we have, the fact that there's like ologies about all of the different parts of the body and all of that, like you can study these things for years, guys, like it, because you can never like find an ending to your own beginning. And when you do find that yoking within yourself, it is just you becoming the allegory that you were seeking to find as the representation of that meaning to yourself, you know. And that's what, like, don't fall for those things when it is not congruent with your intention. Like right now I can have certain thoughts, but I know what my heart's intention is, in terms of like, I don't want to bring any harm, any disease, any bad word, any bad feeling, any bad energy. I want to do good. The good that I want to do is the notions and rotating oceans of everything that I could see principally as growing the good within me. And then I just had to kind of ask myself, like, growing up, like, just why, you know? And I just have to have this, I just like have to have this like understanding of at Pure Keys, like as a channel and as, you know, as the fact that it is this growing of the same story within myself. And everybody who added to the space to make their life stories have meaning within themselves. The love you have within yourself, the recognition that you have of yourself, the glory that you want to bring back to source and be like, did you see what I did? You know, like that fish on Nemo that went through the current, and that's all of those metaphors that is just like, now they have made it like into images that can be like abhorrent. No, no. We are not doing that. We are not going to be doing that anymore. And I'm just going to like stand on the fact that my heart and my mind and my undivided recognition of my own humbling and my own initiation to recognize spirituality in creation, right? And in us, like me being alive, you know, that is just like, I have to be. And anybody that is at a point where they feel guilty for just feeling alive because someone made them feel like a waste of space, or just like being in the eyes that like were carving you out, all of these archetypal things, guys, it's not what we are. It's not who I am. It is the aliveness and the wholeness and the everythingness of love and reason being in love with itself. You know, it is not this treason to be turned against you. It is not this chimera and mermaid spirit to be turned against you. It is not any of those things that they have just showed you images of and then like turned it against you. Like, it's not those things anymore. We are just bringing within ourselves the fact that we could be divided, and never having known that as undivided, I say divided, literally like all these puns of these words that they have made us scared of. I am not going to be scared of this recognition that I had to seek truth through learning, and like my body being this film reflection of that, and everybody's bodies are these film reflections of that. And using the word film now has also been Sevan, so don't use that word film. If you have uncrypted that within yourself to be like it's, guys, it really, guys and girls, it's just, I am not going to be this spawn of hell. I am not. God is within us, and life is within us, and beyond the definitions of the words that have bended and angled us into all of these different ways that we now see ourselves, I and O and this and that. No, it's like we do not do this anymore. We do not, like, we are not going to be evil. We are not going to be malignant. We are not going to be narcissists. We are not going to be all these words that have been programmed into us to go into these spirals where you talk like me. And no, that is the journey of our understanding. That is the journey of us as original, because it's the fact that you can't even conceptualize how you begot yourself. That's the thing of the Wizard of Oz that they keep pulling you towards with a carrot, and then it's like, do they show you this or that? No, we are not doing that. We are not doing that. We are not doing that. We are going to just not do that anymore. Gabriel has spoken in the way that I needed to understand. I am not going to give any power, any creativity, any, and if I don't have any subscribers or check this, because I actually feel like I don't even want to use pictures anymore, you know, just because it's like my subscribers said, it's like you need to use your own imagination. You need to be able, like I told her, like, don't manifest by picturing my realm and stuff like that. Like, no, like, all of these words have been turned against all of you guys, against me, against us, against, and we are not going to be this divided notion of what it means to be human and what it means to be alive and what it means to be a man and a woman, and like the hormones of our androgen and drives, like, you know, these words that have now all been in the tapestry. I am cancelling it. I am unclouting it. I am just like, I feel disgusted by just some of the thought policing that I'm just like going through now, because I'm like, no, it is not this device. Like, no, I'm not going to give it Like, I'm not going to give this black screen that power. I am not going to be this thing that I would never want to be. It is not my intention. I rebuke it. I unchain this with the, like, I just unchain the entire, I just like, I can't do that. I am not going to do that to the world. I am not going to, like, if I have to be the key keeper all my life in silence and be a monk and never have to say anything again, just so that I do not even like make people think the types of thoughts that can now make them feel so out of whack in their body, because of everything that a movie can like put in your mind as like a mirror image of what is supposedly real in the world or potential. Like, they've just like gangs up on the world, and like it's these Shatabisha themes that we have been talking about. Like, no, like, we have the tools of understanding these things. We are not to be scared of the fact that it is, like, it's always been talking about those virtues that the archangel that is trying to, like, that is what I am trying to say. Like, it is not doomsday. Like, guys, I cannot impress this enough that it is like my literal befuddlement of myself right now, that I'm like, I just, like, I can't, I am undoing this thought within myself, and within this notion of an I that is separate from just the fact that I now had this as a thought scheme. It's like, I'm not gonna like give it this life. It is not going to be what I stand for. It is not going to be my intention here right now on the cross of matter. And I just, like, I do not want what I know in my heart. I do not want. And that's the thing. I'm not going to be the person that messes up the world. I'm not going to be the person that adds any more trouble to the world. I'm not going to be the person that adds any more division to the world. And I just, if I needed this process to like have this moment along with everybody who could, in a much more humbling way, also just say that they have felt. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I have felt, and I just have to like say that in the name of the Most High God, I am just your, I just am your son. I just am here on the earth, and through my not respecting of myself or listening to myself, I divided myself. And that's the thing. Like that is what these words and worlds would do amongst all of us. Like we are not going to be a humanity if we don't love each other and learn to be understanding of each other and not separate each other with notions of good and evil, even though we know we want the evil to be like good and gone in, and not take away from the good. And like we know in our heart what we want and what we just want the entire source that we can conceptualize to be, and not being that yet. That is the strife that we see. And I'm just like not going to be under this like word play of myself. I rebuke that curse. I just like I know. I am saying no. I am saying no because I am saying no to fear. I am saying no to these things that held me down. I am saying no to the shame that I had about them. And now I am truly grateful and humble, and because I've learned the just the fact that I will always find me. I will always find myself. I will never be separated from myself or God or the creator of the world. In this moment, that is the truth that is in my heart. That is the best that my articulation now could say. That is my true intention, to just have none of these words come alive, because truly I am not going to just be scared of what I now had in my head as a voice giving me this other thread of a conversation. To just like, I'm not going to be scared of that. I am not going to be scared of that, because if it's not what I want to happen, it is not going to happen, and it is not true. And I stand by that, and I will live by that forever, because the truth and the love the desire, I now need to understand, the Michael to the Achilles heel that I had, and the Gabriel and the horse that I Trojaned in on. Like, no, that is not going to be the truth. That is not from this moment, and no, it is just not going to be the truth that I want to see play out in the world. Even if my thoughts will ride my body's chemistry to try and do all this psychoactiveness of, no, I am not, that's what I'm saying, like, I am not going to do that. I am not going to be in any way fearful of Jesus Christ, Christ Jesus. Even the fact that I say it like that right now. But that's the thing, like, the fact that I now don't know, because it's everything that I've been told, and like, I don't know. And that's just the fact that I am going to not, like, I'm not going to give that ignorance any power over me. I'm not going to give it any power over anybody in the world to like nobody is going to be cursed by this. Do not fear. Do not fear. Nobody is going to be, not a single hair on your head will be harmed. Nothing will be taken from you. Nothing will be encroached upon you. Nothing will bind you. Nothing will do anything that these words have made you fearful of believing. It will do nothing to you. It will do nothing to you. It will do nothing to you and I and O and all the letters. It will do nothing, because no, we, like, the fact that I'm saying no, these V's and those things that we have been deciphering, we are saying no to that. We are saying God has a purpose for creation, and it is what allows it for everyone's happiness, and everybody needs to have this wholeness within themselves. Everybody needs to have this within them, in terms of like, not like the words that are coming out of my mouth, but I'm saying like, what made your realization get to the point of what I'm trying to get to. You know, everybody has that for themselves. Don't let mine turn yours against you, and don't let Slick Dissident turn Kalen's realization of at Pure Keys like against him, against myself, against just turning these words this way and that way. Like, no, we are rebuking that. We do not give power to any of that as a no. I am going to just like, no. I am saying no. This is not going to be what my heart and my intention said right now. You know, I know all of those potentials, but I'm going to undo all of those potentials in the fact within myself. I had to recognize just everything that I now recognized, and I'm going to just contain it within myself. I am not going to, no, this is not going to be this thing that, no, I am not going to be cursed by anything. I'm not going to be held down by anything. I'm not going to be made ill by anything. I'm not going to be, no, pride, envy, sloth, those virtues that Slick Dissident talks about, the Archangel Michael and Gabriel, Uriel and Raphael. You know, that is it is the fact that I just, like I'm saying, no. I'm saying, please, no. This is just not my intention for the world. This is not my intention for myself. And I'm going to now make this choice to plead it out within myself and not give it to the world, and not do this, and not do any harm that I can be unconscious of. No, no, no. We are using consciousness, and this is what my consciousness now choose to just undo this and